All right, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's Partnering for Cybersecurity Success webinar on powerful, flexible, simple cybersecurity. Can you have it all? And we will be doing just that today, diving into exactly that question. Can you have it all without sacrificing one or the other when it comes to offering cybersecurity services as a service provider to meet all of your clients' needs? In today's presentation, we're going to be joined by our panel, which consists of NetSurian's Chief Strategy Officer, Anna Knopf, VP of Channel, Marco Albano, and Solutions Architect, Tom Guadano. They're going to be taking us through the challenges of delivering effective cybersecurity services, how to overcome those challenges, the importance of streamlining and consolidating your SecOps, developing a program with flexibility to meet all of your customers' needs, and how you can all achieve your shared cyber goals. Towards the end of today's presentation, we'll also have a Q&A session where you'll have the opportunity to ask the panel your questions. So as we're going through the presentation today, please keep those ready for the Q&A. You can type them into the chat as they come up. But without further ado, I'll first be handing the floor over to Anant to kick off the panel. Over to you, Anant.
Thank you, Megan, and good day to everyone. I appreciate that in your very busy schedule, you've listened to us, and that's a big thank you to you indeed. So as an MSP, there are some specific challenges around delivering effective cybersecurity. Of course, since the pandemic, remote work's become very routine, which means the threat surface has really exploded as all of those machines that used to be clustered at the office have disappeared to remote locations. And then you all know about the rise in cybercrime. I won't belabor you with statistics, but that's an important thing. Now, a business person who used to use or is using an MSP doesn't necessarily distinguish between an IT person and a cybersecurity person. In their mind, these two are really one and the same. In fact, they're not, as you well know. And the skills you need, the tools you need are really quite different. So what has happened as a result of the demand that's coming from the buyers is that MSPs are now suddenly on the hook to find and then manage cybersecurity tools. And very often they inherit tools that the organization might already have, and these have been single solution, kinds of things. And so you wind up with a alphabet soup: EDR, MDR, NDR, antivirus, SIM, SOC, SOAR, IDS, DLP, and the list goes on. By the way, each one of these has its own data set, has its own dashboard, its own alert, its own cost to buy it, its own processes to actually manage it, update it, its own set of training that the vendor cheerfully wants to give you, and then different vendors, who will give you support. So this is actually quite challenging. What's the net result? Is the 3 U's. This is a hodgepodge that's unmanageable, it's unaffordable, and frankly, it's unsustainable in the long run. So, can we go to the next slide? So this is your cybersecurity stack. What are some of the drawbacks of having such a mishmash? Well, first of all, you've got a patchwork defense, which means there are going to be gaps in that defense where one tool sort of leaves off and the other tool kind of picks up. And that kind of patchwork puts your client at risk. And in the end, if you're assuming responsibility for cybersecurity by default, that anything that happens is somehow you, the MSP's problem. Next is, of course, it's a complex Rube Goldberg kind of setup. This kind of complexity will overwhelm you, overwhelm anybody pretty much, because of all the different parts that have to be configured and then managed and then watched and then maintained and then upgraded and so on. Every one of these tools, by the way, is costing something, which means that given the wafer-thin margins that we enjoy in this business, it's just affecting those margins. And who really needs that? It also takes away time from other services. Frankly, you and MSP face the customer. and you have some abilities in order to influence them, to interact with them, which vendors such as NetSurian don't have, and those are extremely valuable and they're very revenue producing. The more time you're taken away from that kind of activity, the less time you have for doing good revenue producing, loyalty inducing work. So this is not something that is really, frankly, sustainable in the long term. So then, in addition to this common set of problems that affects pretty much everybody, there are some that are specific and special to MSPs. For one thing, an MSP will serve many different customers. And very often, each of these customers will be of different size and or of different maturity. Their maturity are not going to be the same even if you service only a specific vertical. Let's say you only service healthcare or law firms or auto dealerships in a specific region. You're going to find that even within that vertical, in that geographic area, each of the customers has their own notion of what is enough when it comes to cyber. So one size doesn't fit all. So what are you going to pick in terms of cybersecurity stack components? Second, you've probably made an investment in a ticketing, in a process, ticketing system, in a process flow, in a remote management and monitoring solution. What about integration with that thing? Because that's really where all of your techs probably live. So then if that's the heart of your operation, does the solution stack that you picked integrate nicely with this solution? Or is it going to be outside of it and cause you extra work? You know that some are and some aren't going to go for this kind of thing. And some might go for the basic option. Some might go for the advanced option. So it's kind of difficult for you to forecast what your revenue from cyber is going to be on day zero. So does the vendor provide you a pay-as-you-grow model where you're not committing in advance to 12 months worth of revenue because you quite frankly cannot predict it? But then as things get better, as you buy more, your price points will actually decrease. Is the licensing model simple enough? Are they asking you to count something that you can easily count? Or is it something very difficult like events per second, which even seasoned professionals have a difficult time measuring? And worse yet, it goes up and it goes down depending on time of day, day of week, month of year. And so is it a simple licensing model that we could get our heads around very easily? What about monthly billing? After all, you're probably in the business of getting an invoice out to the customer every month, making a collection, and then having to pay your vendor. But if your vendor is demanding annual prepayment up front, then you're going to be out of pocket, way up front before you can collect anything. And that can be impactful for cash flow, which is like mother's milk for us all. So that's something else to consider. Last but not the least, it's not just about the technology. Very often, MSPs require help, sales and marketing help, to explain the value proposition to the end customer and get support for closing the deal. Is the MSP one that's going to actually, the vendor one that's actually going to give you this kind of help? Well, to answer how NetSurian does all this, up next is Tom Guadagno, who, as you heard from at the top of the talk, is the solutions architect at NetSurian. Tom, take it away.
Thank you, Anand. Hello, everyone. It's great to be here with you today. You know, in this crazy world we call cybersecurity, MSPs play a crucial role in providing comprehensive security operations to their clients. To effectively consolidate and streamline their SecOps while maintaining flexibility and scalability, consider these items. First, establishing a centralized SOC allows you to consolidate your client's security operations in a single location. This enables better coordination, collaboration, and visibility across different security functions, including threat monitoring, incident response, vulnerability management, and compliance. Implementing security orchestration and automation tools helps streamline SecOps processes by automating repetitive tasks, standardizing workflows, and enabling faster response times. By leveraging technologies like playbooks, scripting, and integrations with security tools, you can enhance efficiency and reduce manual efforts. Integrating threat intelligence feeds and platforms into their SecOps processes enables you to gain real-time insights into emerging threats and vulnerabilities. By consolidating multiple threat feeds and using advanced analytics, you can proactively identify potential risks and respond quickly to security incidents. Embracing cloud-native security solutions allows you to leverage the scalability and flexibility of the cloud while ensuring robust security. Cloud-based security platforms provide centralized management, automated updates, and scalable security controls, enabling you to deliver consistent and efficient SecOps across diverse client environments. Implementing scalable security monitoring and analytics solutions enables you to handle large volumes of security events and logs efficiently by leveraging technologies like security information and event management, SIM systems, big data analytics, and machine learning. MSPs can detect and respond to security incidents in real time, while also gaining valuable insights for future improvements. Developing standardized security processes, policies, and configurations helps you streamline their SecOps while ensuring compliance with industry regulations and client requirements. By maintaining a well-defined baseline, you can efficiently onboard new clients, reduce complexity, and minimize the risk of misconfigurations or oversights. You should prioritize continuous improvement and invest in ongoing training for their SecOps teams and your SecOps teams. By staying updated on the latest security threats, industry best practices, and emerging technologies, you can optimize their operations, enhance their capabilities, and deliver higher quality service to their clients. Effective communication and collaboration with clients are crucial for streamlining SecOps. You should establish clear lines of communication, regular reporting mechanisms, and incident response processes with your clients. This facilitates transparency, builds trust, and enables the timely sharing of critical security information. In summary, you can consolidate and streamline client SecOps while maintaining flexibility and scalability by centralizing their operations, leveraging automation and orchestration, integrating threat intelligence, adopting cloud-native solutions, implementing scalable monitoring and analytics, standardizing process, investing in training, and fostering client collaboration. These strategies can empower you to efficiently manage security for your clients while adapting to evolving security landscapes and business requirements. Moving on to talk about consolidating and streamlining your SecOps. Implementing a powerful and flexible cybersecurity program that aligns with customers' needs, simplifies the tech stack, and reduces operational costs requires a strategic approach. Here are some best practices to consider. Begin by understanding your customers' unique security requirements, industry regulations, their risk tolerance. Tailor your cybersecurity program to meet their specific needs and align with their business goals. Adopt a risk-based approach to prioritize cybersecurity efforts. Identify and assess potential risks and vulnerabilities, and allocate resources accordingly to focus on critical areas that pose the highest risk to customers. Implement a comprehensive security framework that covers all essential areas, including network security, endpoint protection, access management, data encryption, incident response, and employee awareness training to ensure a holistic and layered defense strategy. Streamline your technology stack by consolidating and integrating security solutions where possible. Avoid deploying multiple overlapping tools and platforms that can create complexity and increase operational costs. Look for comprehensive solutions that offer multiple security functionalities. Conduct regular security assessments, including penetration testing, vulnerability assessments, and security audits to identify weaknesses and gaps in the security program. Address findings promptly to improve the overall security posture. And foster open communication and collaboration with customers to ensure their security needs are met. Regularly engage with customers to understand their evolving requirements, provide updates on security measures, and address any concerns that they may have. By following these practices, you can build a powerful yet flexible cybersecurity program that aligns with your customers' needs, simplifies the tech stack, and reduces operational costs, and provide robust protection against the ever-evolving threat landscape. All right, next slide, please. Thank you. So you face the challenge of providing managed security services that cater to a wide range of customers, from those with minimal investments in security to those with diverse networks and existing investments in security and threat hunting needs. To address this, you can adopt the following strategies. Offer customized service tiers that align with varying security needs and budgets of different customers. For customers with minimal investments in security, provide essential security services such as firewall management, antivirus, and basic monitoring. For customers with complex networks and existing investments in security, offer advanced services such as threat hunting, incident response, and security architecture reviews. Implement flexible service models that can adapt to the specific requirements of each customer. This could include options for fully outsourced managed security services, co-managed services where you work alongside the customer's internal security team, or a consultative approach where you can provide expertise and guidance as needed. For customers with existing investments in security tools and infrastructure, focus on integrating and leveraging their current environment. Provide expertise in integrating and optimizing these tools, ensuring they work harmoniously with, with the managed security services. This approach allows customers to maximize their investment while benefiting from your expertise and additional security capabilities. Implement scalable security solutions that can grow and adapt as your customers' needs evolve. This could include cloud-based security platforms, software-defined security solutions, or modular security services that can easily be scaled up or down based on the customer requirements. Offer advanced threat intelligence and hunting capabilities to customers with diverse networks and higher security requirements. Leverage threat intelligence feeds, conduct proactive threat hunting exercises, and deploy advanced detection and response capabilities to identify and mitigate sophisticated threats. So, tailoring cybersecurity services to the cybersecurity posture demands of each individual client is of paramount importance. And here's some key reasons why this is so crucial. Every client has a unique risk profile and specific vulnerabilities. By tailoring cybersecurity services, you can focus on addressing the specific risks that are relevant to each client. This targeted approach allows for more effective risk mitigation and reduces the chances of overlooking critical vulnerabilities. Tailoring cybersecurity services ensures that resources are allocated efficiently. By understanding the specific cybersecurity posture of each client, you can prioritize their efforts, investments, and security controls accordingly. This prevents wasting resources on unnecessary measures and ensures that the most critical areas receive appropriate attention. Customizing cybersecurity services enables you to provide cost-effective solutions that meet the specific needs of the clients. Instead of deploying a one-size-fits-all approach, you can focus on the areas that require immediate attention and allocate resources accordingly. This approach optimizes the use of available resources and provides value for clients without unnecessary expenditure. Different industries have specific compliance and regulatory requirements. By tailoring cybersecurity services, you can ensure that their clients meet these obligations effectively. This may involve implementing industry-specific security controls, conducting regular assessments, and maintaining documentation necessary for compliance audits. Clients' cybersecurity needs evolve over time. By tailoring services, you can adapt to changing circumstances and scale security measures as required. This flexibility allows for adjustments in response to emerging threats, new technologies, business growth, or changes in the threat landscape. Customized cybersecurity services enable you to enhance the overall security posture of each client by analyzing their existing cybersecurity measures, identifying gaps, and tailoring solutions accordingly. You can provide targeted recommendations and improvements. This approach helps clients build a more robust and resilient security framework. Tailoring cybersecurity services demonstrates a client-centric approach. It emphasizes the importance of understanding each client's unique requirements and goals. It fosters a partnership based on trust, collaboration, and a deep understanding of the client's environment. This approach also ensures that clients feel heard, valued, and supported in their cybersecurity journey. Next slide, please. So at Netsharian, we have two levels of service that we offer that fulfill many of these needs here. We have the Essentials package and we have the Enterprise package. So as an MSP, many of your clients don't need some of the more advanced threat hunting, don't need some of the integrations that we provide. So we have a set of integrations, a set of alerts, a cost-effective solution for probably a good part of your client base. And then on the enterprise side, when you need much more scalable, much more flexibility, customizing the alerting, customizing the DSIs, there's a very large list of data source integrations, DSIs, that we can provide. All of this geared toward a platform where you're not adding our software, where you have to rip and replace something else because we're not compatible. We don't do that. So you can use us with your existing infrastructure. You use the OpenXDR platform with what's already in place, using the many data source integrations that we provide. And from there, I'm going to hand it over to Marco. He can talk a little bit more about this from a sales perspective.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. First off, I know we have about 13 people that have joined the webinar. I know it's in the middle of the week, so we appreciate you taking some time out to meet with us. And as Megan mentioned at the beginning of the call, my name is Marco Albano, VP of Channel Sales here at Netsharian. I've been in the cybersecurity space for almost 15 years. And one of the pleasures that I get out of my role is I have the opportunity to speak to a number of different businesses and business leaders. And as I walk through this presentation, I really want to make sure you all keep in mind that it's important to understand what I say just comes from my interactions with other business owners and their real life examples. And I know between the mix of the 15 people we have on this call, there's probably some existing partners and some others that are just out there doing their homework, figuring out what else is in the market. But either way, keep in mind the 5 themes that I've sort of run into over the last 15 years and speaking with my partners, they can relate to either side of either you're a current Netsharian partner or you're looking at your tool set and looking to add more services. So when it comes to selecting the right solution, these are in no order of importance, but what is it you're trying to solve? Is it your customers coming to you asking because they're a mature organization, hey, I need more visibility across my network? Or they have legacy technology that's in place, or you may have legacy technology in place as well, and you understand there's a gap in your offering, and you're looking to achieve better solutions for your customer. Right? So really understanding what are you trying to solve and make sure that the solution you choose checks off all those boxes. Secondly is integrations. Now, I know this has been talked about before, but this is probably on the top of the list when I'm speaking with other business leaders. You never want to implement a solution that doesn't play nicely with your current stack. So making sure that the solution that you choose moving forward checks off what you're using today, but also is flexible enough, right, and has a wide range of integrations that may come down the road, right? There's new technologies that are always coming up, and you want to make sure that there's room for growth within the solution you choose. So integrating with your current stack is definitely top of mind for all the businesses that I've spoken to. Next is compliance. Obviously, if you're a niche player, you have specific compliances that your specific requirements that your customers need to abide to. This is easy, right? It's 1 or 2 that you want to make sure the solution achieves. But like most MSPs, right, you have a wide range of customers. So making sure the solution you choose has a wide range of reports or benefits that allow you to go back to your customers and deliver the service they need for those specific requirements. Next is service level, and I'll say this. This is probably one of the most overlooked and sort of get muddied along the way when I'm talking to business owners, is what type of service do you actually want to deliver to your clients? And this will help you sort of differentiate yourself in the market, right? You don't want to go out and potentially select a solution that everyone else is providing, right? Because it's tough for you to differentiate yourself from that other MSP or that other solution provider. So you need to make sure that the solution you choose gives you the ability to deliver the type of service you're looking for. Now, as Tom explained, we have two flavors of what we deliver. Now, the technology isn't different, but the service level in which we deliver is. So having that conversation with us up front, understanding what you're looking for, that gives us a better idea of, hey, let's move you into this. And we have come across, which I'll show you before, where over time, your needs and your customers' needs change, and we're able to help out with that as well. Lastly, does the solution increase profitability? In a perfect world, the more you sell, the more you become profitable with your customers. And this is something you want to make sure too as well when you're selecting a partner or vendor to go to market with, that over time, as your customers grow, you increase your profitability. And this is something that we've taken a strong look at. And with the relaunch of our partner program, which I'll discuss a little bit, this was something I tried to keep top of mind, right? We want to make sure we're partnering and allowing our partners to make more profit the longer they stay with us and the more customers they bring on board. Lastly, I'll just mention this, is it's not on here, but I think support has a lot to do with this too. And what I mean by that is it's a true partnership, right? As you're evaluating your current partners or evaluating a new partner you're looking for, what type of support will you get from them? There's customer experience is top of mind for everyone. You want to make sure that that support that you're receiving allows you to deliver a top level service to your customers. So obviously you've now selected your solution. What can you do to educate your customers on why they need to adopt some of the services that you've come up with? Now, again, these 5 or 6 are pieces of the puzzle that through my conversations with partners I find are the most successful. And really the top one is be transparent, right? Cybersecurity is constantly evolving. You yourself and your business and what you're delivering from a security standpoint has to evolve, right? It's like chasing a moving target. So being upfront with them and getting them to understand that there's no silver bullet for cybersecurity. Over time, we're going to have to change some things and pivot to help deliver the service and the type of service you're looking to deliver to your customers. And one of the most important things that I've heard over the last, I would say, 2 years or so, is some of these MSPs and service providers are building out customer success teams. Now, this could be an actual team, but we all know it's tough to get people. It could be one person, but their sole job is to talk to their current customers, understand what they're seeing, what they're talking about. Are they talking to other service providers? What are they looking to get out of it? And if you have real astute and smart customers, right, they're going to keep you on your toes. They're high touch. So making sure you have someone or a team of people constantly talking to your current customers is allows you to keep a pulse on and allows you to sort of stay as they grow through their cybersecurity maturity. You stay with them and allow to make sure you're delivering those services that you need. And on top of that, you know, they're having QBRs. They're taking the data that they get from their current vendors and reports and saying, hey, here's the value that we're bringing to you. And so QBRs and customer success, that's something I've heard again over the last 2 years that I feel like is a small move. But if you look at why customers move away from service providers, the number one reason is customer experience. And part of that is run events. I'm actually headed to an event tomorrow for one of our MSPs where they're putting on a customer and prospect event, right? They're inviting all their vendors. We get to have discussions. We get to meet people, right? You buy from who you like, and that's part of it. So it's really, it comes down to the customer experience. All right, and then moving on just to around educating your customers. These are, the next two slides are just a couple of examples, a few examples of my personal interaction with my partners and my team's partners on making sure the service you're looking to deliver to your customers is on par, right? And this is part of sort of a partner experience. And we're constantly speaking to our partners. And this first partner was leveraging Essentials, but they saw an opportunity within their customer and within their market that they could deliver more. It's sort of that shift that you're seeing in the marketplace of MSP, traditional MSP, break fix, moving to an MSSP. They may not have the bandwidth, the security expertise, but it's there, and they're choosing to partner with someone to be able to deliver a service that they're going back to their customers saying, hey, this is our standard. Here's what you're going to get out of it. And now they're moving to that more hands-on enterprise solution. So this just gives you an example of making sure what you're looking to deliver to your customers is on par with the solution you choose, and choosing a vendor that is able to move along with you is definitely key. The second use case here is a prospective partner where they had a reduction in workforce. Their security team went from 10 people to 2 people, right? But they had service levels to their customers that they were expected to achieve, but they didn't have the people in-house to deliver that. So now they had to go back, look at what they were doing in-house, and compare that to what it would be to outsource it, right? And the cost was pretty evident. We were able to show them, hey, for the cost of one engineer, you get the use of our solution and our team to back it with the playbooks, with all the processes that you would have to spend hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars a year to achieve. And they've now selected one of our bundles to be their standard that they're going to go to their customers with. The next use case is another real life one, but it sort of emulates the goal that everybody wants here, right? Is you're looking to deliver a solution to your customers that in the end makes you, the service provider, like Superman, right? You save the day. So in this specific example, the SOC team detected malware that leveraged Microsoft PowerShell script. The security analyst, because of the solution that the partner chose, was doing advanced threat hunting, identified something, went to the MSP, alerted them within minutes, and provided a breakdown of necessary steps that they feel like they needed to take in order to help out that financial client. And in the end, the MSP saved the day. They were able to deliver efficient and effective remediation by working side by side with their trusted provider. So these are just a couple of use cases that I wanted to highlight because it speaks to, we understand there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of vendors. And this is why I love what I do, is I get to talk to business owners and understand their business and figure out, okay, how can we help them? Because it is a true partnership, and you just want to make sure that when you're having these discussions with potential partners, you keep this top of mind. And here is my shameless plug. Again, I know we have current partners on the line and others who are just doing some homework and hopefully getting engaged after this, but we'd love to speak with you, review our recent updates that we made to the partner program and what benefits you'd get from that. So please do not hesitate to reach out to myself or my team. Love to schedule a call. Again, whatever solution you choose in the end is going to be the right one for you. I have no harm in just having a conversation because I love to learn more about what you're seeing within your customer base, and that helps us in the long run as well. So, one question obviously at the beginning was, can you have it all? As a managed service provider, the whole shift to becoming an MSSP, can you be both? what you're seeing in the market is a shift to partner with the right vendors. And can you have it all? I don't think you can. I think the answer is no, because there are too many dependencies, right? Again, there's no silver bullet. But that shouldn't stop you from trying. And it has to be a combo of tech and people. So aligning what your requirements are with the right partner that allows flexibility and scalability is definitely a start. And I'm a big sports person, and you know, I'll leave you with just the last quote of a great football coach, Vince Lombardi. Hopefully we have some Packers fans on the line. But he said, perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. And I think that's sort of what we're in right now, right? You have these ever-growing threats, and it's always changing, and there's new vendors, and all of a sudden a pandemic hits, and everyone's working from home, and the landscape of the threat vectors change, right? It's tough to catch a chasing target, but if you align your requirements with a solution that gives you the ability to be flexible and scalable, that's what we're looking for, and it's a true partnership. So I'll leave you with that quote, and I think we're moving into a Q&A, Megan. Is that accurate?
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Marco,
Go ahead.
if you will permit me to add 2 cents to what Marco just said.
Please.
And go to the slide before. I think the takeaway is that the Netsurian offering really is purpose-built for MSPs. And this is not something that's common in industry. From the technology, you know, being multi-tenant, being hosted in the cloud, to being offered as a service, so to solve the skill shortage issue, you know, to the way the bundles have been set up, such that you can have the basic bundle, the advanced bundle, you can tack on endpoint protection here, vulnerability scanning there for this customer, but not that customer. And so right size it in the way that it needs to be. And then, of course, the way the billing is such that you pay as you grow. This is something that's actually quite uncommon in industry. And that's something that you should take away as a strong benefit of the of NPower.
Yes,
Over to you, Megan.
Anand.
Perfect. I think that was a great transition, Anand, into our Q&A. Thank you all for sharing those insights. Again, we do have some questions that have come in, but if you have any more, please put them in the chat, and we can certainly try to get to those as we go through. We'll leave a couple minutes here for questions. But Anand, you kind of just touched on there when you added that commentary at the end about the different packages and so forth, and having those to meet your customers' needs. Any of you can touch on this, maybe Tom or not, but somebody asked, is there a light or a full version of the product and services that Netsurian offers? And I think that kind of goes along with what you were talking about, but if you could expand on that a little bit more, that'd be great.
We don't like to think of it as light or full, because the evil that's out there is just as evil for, you know, a big city bank versus a small community bank. And so somehow dumbing down the capabilities of the product in a light version makes no sense whatsoever. We can think about different levels of service, but certainly you want the same industrial strength technology, you know, in all cases. And then, of course, there's packaging. Some folks might want different levels of service, may want different components. You know, a common one, for instance, is vulnerability scan. You want it or no? Sometimes we have customers say no in the beginning, only to realize that it's something that is asked for by their compliance regimen, and so want to come back and tack that on as a service. And sure, that's something that we will happily do. We don't really think of that in terms of light and full, but just as in terms of different components. And then to add to some of the stuff that we were talking about, differentiating Netsurian from other MSPs, one other thing that you might have taken away from this presentation is people like, for instance, Tom G, who spent time explaining the solution. Before he came to Netsurian, he spent a lot of time as an MSP. And so he really has walked a mile in your shoes and fallen in all the puddles and, you know, had all the experiences before he came to work for us. And so he's really seen it from your side of the world. And people like Marco have been in the game supporting MSPs for more than a decade. So they know how to do this very well. And aside of the technology and the billing and the price, it's the team and the people that are delivering it really that frankly make all the difference.
Absolutely. Thanks. And to kind of bounce off of that, I think a common theme that was touched on throughout this presentation about meeting your customers' needs and meeting them where they are, right, is those integrations and what you currently have in your tech stack. So somebody asked, I've already committed to SentinelOne. Can I keep it? Is that something you can kind of touch on, Tom?
Sure. Yeah, you can keep your SentinelOne. We have an integration with it where we can pull the logs from SentinelOne across all of your clients. So that would be no problem.
Absolutely. And then kind of going off of that as well, somebody asked, I have a small customer, after the first incident, he decided that he needed to get more. Can I upgrade him to the bigger package without reinstalling endpoints?
Yes. That's a simple answer, not a lot to say. The answer to that is yes, you can. There is a transition period, but that's primarily done by our SOC and our team. But you don't have to reinstall.
Perfect. Does Ananth, do you want to add to that, or does that answer the question fully for you?
Short and sweet. Like the man said, yes. Or would you prefer hell yes?
I love it. I like the confidence. It's awesome. Thank you. We have a couple more minutes here for a few more questions. Marco, this one's for you. How about you take this one? You've been quiet in the Q&A.
Okay.
You mentioned in your slides about flexible pricing and how you're optimizing that for MSPs. So this person asked, how does NetSurian's flexible pricing model enable MSPs to optimize their profitability while meeting their client security requirements?
Yeah, it's a good question. Part of my role coming in here was to take a look at the program and make sure that the partners that we have that are selling our solution become more profitable. And that's one of the main things that we focused on when we built this out in the new price book is if we have a partner who's going to market with us, who's selling us to all of their customers, who are making us sort of their standard package, we need to, push them to sell more and keep that. So we've conducted and developed a price book that they are allowed to make more money the more they sell. And the customers that they have installed at the beginning, over time, they become much, much, much more profitable. So on top of all of that, that was probably the number one reason we took a look at that partner program and the pricing was to make sure we make our partners who are going to market with us more profitable. So great question.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Marco. We have time for one more question, and I think this is probably a good one to wrap everything up. It's a little more broad, but I think it kind of addresses that question of can you have it all? So Ananth, I'll skip this one over to you, and if anybody has anything to add, but can you explain the potential drawbacks of using a one-size-fits-all approach to cybersecurity services?
Yeah, that's especially difficult for an MSP because they're really not buying this for themselves, but on behalf of customers. And customers, frankly, come in all shapes and sizes. What they want from a cybersecurity standpoint is dependent upon their risk appetite. It's sort of like health insurance. There is no one standard. There's all sorts of different programs depending upon your risk tolerance. Where are you in terms of age, in terms of health, in terms of how much premium you're willing to pay, how much risk you're willing to take. I mean, the gold plan is not the correct answer for everyone. So in similar fashion, one of the things we've learned over the years is that you shouldn't correlate size of the company with their cybersecurity maturity. We've seen small companies very mature in terms of their cybersecurity assessments, and we've seen some very large companies be shockingly immature about cybersecurity. Frankly, this is MSP as a trusted advisor gets to have that conversation with their customer, and they can maybe guide them. But in the end, it's the customer who makes the determination as to how much risk they're prepared to tolerate, and therefore what their spend and what package of services they're prepared to actually accept. And so an MSP then winds up having to provide one set of services to customer A, possibly a completely different set to customer B, and then to customer C, and so on. So the one size fits all is problematic, especially from an MSP point of view. It's different if you're a company, you see, because then you probably are all, everyone in your company probably is all on the same page, or more or less. You know, looking for a Camry. You don't have divergent opinions that says you want a Camry, or you want a pickup truck, or you want a Porsche. It's probably the argument is between an XC and an LE, but that's not true for an MSP. They're going to get different customers in the door with different requirements. And so especially for an MSP, one size, technically speaking, does not fit all.
Perfect. Well, that wraps it up. That's all the time we have today. Thank you again to Ananth, Marco, and Tom for joining and providing your expertise today. And we'll see you all next time in our next Partnering for Cybersecurity Success episode. Again, if you have any questions that we didn't get to today, or maybe after this, you have some that are sparked, feel free to contact us at any time at partners@netshurian.com, or reach out if you're a current partner to your channel account manager or technical account manager. We'll also be sending out a replay of today's webinar shortly, in case you missed anything or want to send it to anybody else in your organization, or just revisit anything that we went over today. Again, we really hope this talk was insightful, and hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thanks again.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
Bye now.